Howdy, 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 nearly senior citizen, and this is a warning. If you like Five Nights at Freddy's, don't watch this one. I'm talking about how I feel about Five Nights at Freddy's. And if you like it, and if you like me, and you don't like people talking not good things about Five Nights, don't watch. Don't watch. I don't tear it apart. I'm not awful. I'm not even horrible. I just lightly touch on a few things. But that's enough to cause warning. I know you fans. Don't come hunt me down and kill me.
I am almost 53. I'm an Air Force veteran and I'm disabled. My wife died a little over a year ago, so I'm the 52-year-old disabled widower, United States Air Force medical pot-using veteran. Not only that, I stay home and I game all day and I love hamsters. You know what that means? No matter what, I am the internet's dorky grandpa. Glad to meet ya. Hope you stay.
Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. It's early morning. I slept most of the night in my chair, of course. I'm going to die of a heart attack or a stroke because I don't wear my sleep mask for my sleep apnea. But my son and I were just talking about the difference in Five Nights at Freddy's and other games, and how I prefer at least a little string of kind of reality in my games. And I was talking with my boy here about how the Deus Ex Human Revolution is actually more realistic than Five Nights at Freddy's. Because we have cybernetic implants now. We do cybernetic stuff. We've got, people have prosthetics that they can strap onto their bodies that works reading the stuff from the mind. They have prosthetics that it just reads the impulses that come out of your brain, and then the hand works. We have implantable stuff that goes into your body. That's all cybernetics. We have that. But we don't. The closest we have to a Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics is I think it's called the Asimo. It's a little 3-foot tall thing in Japan. They've actually made it. It can walk on its own. It walks at about maybe 2 miles an hour. And it just now, fairly recently, was able to actually climb stairs and only fall down every once in a while. So that's the closest we've come to anything like that. We used 89,000 parallel processors to actually mimic some form of human thought. It took 89,000 processors working in parallel, and it took 40 hours or something to mimic 40 seconds of extremely damaged brain thought. So effectively they were able to make a neural net that operated like a human being who was badly brain damaged and retarded and in a coma and all that. And that's the closest we can get. And that's today. I mean, we don't have anything like the animatronics. We never have. I mean, especially with the time frame of Five Nights at Freddy's. The closest we've had to anything close to animatronics is that move was, especially with the time frame, was the non-mobile animatronics that what Disney calls their animatronics. That was actually a trademark term. I don't know if it is anymore. But they're stuck. They don't move. The closest you get is like the presidents. They'll stand up and they'll move their hands and stuff. And those aren't even electronic. They use air pressure and hydraulics and strings and wires. There's not a single bit of electronics in them. We don't have anything like Five Nights at Freddy's. That is so far into fantasy land. It's crazy. So I think you could probably tell the nearly senior citizen's view on the whole Five Nights at Freddy's things. I mean, jump scares aren't clever, they're not funny, they're not original. It's the same as when you jump when a car backfires outside. That's just the same sort of jump scare you get at Five Nights at Freddy's, and honestly, just as much gameplay. So you've got, it's a energy resource sim, because the only way I can figure that it takes energy for a door to stay shut, especially a door that comes down, is it must use, the default position is like a hydraulic thing that's pushing like a 2-ton rock up into the air, and then the 5-foot rope shuts the door. That must be the only way to shut the door, you know, so it takes electricity to pump the hydraulic thing up, the 2,000-pound rock, so that the door can finally shut, and so it takes electricity to keep it shut. Because with the default position, that's crazy. None of it makes sense. It's not even close. Story's semi-interesting. I'll go with story. And my son says, oh, people play it for the story. The story is fine, but if you strip out the story and put your own story in, it plays just the same. So the story makes absolutely zero difference to the game. I mean, you can make it, like I was saying to my son before, it's like, oh, they all just want to give you ice cream, and they're coming down to give you ice cream, but when they get down there in the door, they trip, and they fall, and they accidentally kill you. Okay, that's all they're trying to do. Does that change the game? No. Does it change the gameplay? No. So, is the story fascinating about the game? No. Oh. Now, the story itself might be interesting, but it's separate entirely from the game. So, yeah. Am I thrilled by the whole series? No. Am I going to lose a whole bunch of subscribers because of this? Probably. Am I going to make sure I don't get subscribers in the future? Probably. Because do I think it's a game? Not even slightly. It's a jump scare avoidance and energy management simulation. And since jump scare avoidance is all you have to do is turn your head and look to make sure that no one's coming up behind you to scare you, just as much gameplay. So, oh, I did it again. I'm playing Five Nights at Freddy's. See y'all later, now that I've pissed off everybody. If I can turn this thing off, that's